So, excellent question. And I asked the question, when had the U.S. military ever strengthened any African military's capacities or anything? So, you wrote they use FBA to destabilize and unalive leaders. FBA, you mean fundamental black Americans? I'm not an FBA. I am a black American. I don't think FBAs give a shit about destabilizing any African country. I promise you they don't. Or you were meaning to use FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations of the United States. I don't know. However, you say General Langley in his congressional hearings. Okay. A lot of Africans like to speak about General Langley. By the way, it's funny how black Americans have one representative. Like the term African American was created by Jesse Jackson in the 80s. And then Africans go and have all these TikTok lives and say, why black Americans are lying about being African. That's not a terminology that we're used to. We're just black Americans. We're just Americans, actually. And I'm black. You understand? And Africans keep having TikTok lives every day, all day long, talking about why black Americans don't want to be African. It's a terminology that Jesse Jackson made up. And most people don't use it. African immigrants do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. First and second generation. However, let's talk about Langley. A lot of Africans like to open their mouth about General Langley, but no one, I seem so silent. I hear crickets when it comes to Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo was the first person to literally lie on camera in the United States at the USA Africa Summit. He lied and said Burkina Faso gave a gold mine to their southern border, which is the northern border of Ghana, to Russia. He lied. I knew he was lying. Anthony Blinken knew he was lying. He just shook his head and looked at this little pathetic man. And Burkina Faso did not do such thing. They never gave a gold mine to Russia. By the way, all this propaganda that you see online, Russia, Wagner troops, they were not in Burkina Faso. There were some Russian troops guarding Captain Ibrahim Traore, and there were Russian troops training Burkina Faso military on some military equipment that they purchased from Russia. And guess what? Since I read the news in Burkina Faso, Germany also was there training troops on some equipment that they bought from Germany as well. And when Ibrahim Traore was in Russia for the Africa Russia summit, there were also some troops, because you got to follow the news. There were also some Burkina Faso troops in the United States meeting with the military, and they were also having a special training. So this whole propaganda about General Langley and he's trying to destabilize and all that. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The U.S. government's not very, they're not good, but everybody talks about this General Langley, especially Africans, but nobody talks about Akufo-Addo lying on Burkina Faso. Nobody talks about it, and he lied.